It's funny because now that I'm older, I see things very different, which of course is expected. We're supposed to learn as we grow. As we get older, as we mature, we learn more things about ourselves. I didn't know that everybody wasn't aware of sacred geometry and hermetics and scrolls, hidden scrolls, apocrypha. I really thought these were things everybody knew. I am now learning that a lot of the knowledge I have is not stuff that's the average person's teachings. Part of that, I guess, would be because I'm a star child, I'm a star seed, so I have abilities there. I'm also an indigo child, so I have abilities there. And so I've always had extra abilities beyond what a lot of people have been able to access. Now, is that because I'm smarter than them? Nope. Is it because I practice some type of crazy sorcery? Nope. But I do like to use my brain. I like to build new neural pathways, learn new things, and I've always been that way. When I was young, I was in several pilot programs that at the time I wasn't aware of what they were really training me for. See, I used to belong to, well, we'll come back to that. When I was young, I was dyslexic. So they put me in these classes. They were special classes not at the school, at the optometrist. There was a special department for people where they were experimenting with people who were dyslexic on how to help them to see better and how to correct the things that are reversed. Now, in the center, one of the things they do, and I'm talking about this because it actually has to do with programming as well. One of the things they do in the center for people who are dyslexic, and I also have astigmatism, which I think affects it because I see different. I see light spectrums different than most people. Also, they found on my brain spots. A couple years back when I was in Florida, they found 3 spots on my brain. They looked at it. They thought it might have been cancer at first, but it wasn't. They said it was just an anomaly. Well, I think part of that has to do with my ability to use another part of my brain, and my perceptions are a little broader than some. Um, I've always known sacred geometry, science, and hermetics. I didn't know everyone didn't know that, to be honest. When I was young, I always knew the stars and the alignment of the stars, the true solar stars, like when Jesus was born, stars. And I could look at the stars now and the alignments, the year, and the rest of this and kind of see where we're at. Which brings me back to the programming. So when I was a dyslexic and a child, they put me in these programming classes because I have a high IQ. And they used to do a lot of experiments and tests on my vision, my memory, my ability to see things and organize them quickly. See, I was also a member of HOSA, which is Health Occupation Students of America. So this was a pilot program at my school. This was separate than the special training that I'm talking about, but it was the same time frame. So this program was run by the military and the education department. So all of my classes in school from high school up were all medically related. I did not take normal school classes. I went to high school 4 classes a day, left at lunch, and then I would do my schooling at the adult ed where I was becoming a CNA, HHA, and had my first responder and some other stuff. So I was trained a bit in the medical field, is what I'm saying. So to kind of put it together, I could see some of the old MK Ultra programming and how some of it was done to me, partially through this center. One of the things they do in the center, I switched subject from the school back to the center. At the center, they would teach us how to see things in a different dimension, where you could bring different pictures together to form one. And they would flash pictures before my eyes. They would flash words, numbers, puzzles. I would have to do puzzles in the dark and then have lights flashing and then remember things. I didn't know at the time that it was actually programming. So with MK Ultra, with programming, part of what they do is put subliminal messages in your mind. They, because you have your, thinking part of you that you're, what would I like to do today? But then you also have the real, back here, you got you, because you have, well, I did a video already on the ego, the id, the super ego, the brain, the breakdown. So I guess I don't need to go into that in this video. I'm not trying to get too medical. I got off track. So in the center, they trained us to see certain things certain ways. And now that I'm older and I look back at the center, I could really break down a lot of what happened and a lot of what a lot of these people went through, children, during this programming. And some of these centers, well, we'll come back to that. Now that I'm older, I look back at the old programming and I can see what's coming in advance because I can see the codes in the program. One of the things they had me do was, in the training, was daily at a certain time every day, I had to wear these 3D glasses and I had to put a screen over the television. It was half and half. It was split in half. One side was green, one side was red. So I'd have to watch television for 2 hours with these 3D glasses on. And I'd watch certain programs, not realizing that the television is part of the MK Ultra program. So with the government, if you're familiar with the CIA psyops and how mind control works and frames per second and all of the hidden stuff that they put in the television, in the movies, that sticks in your subconscious, you don't think about it at the time, but later stuff pops up and you think, oh, I have this new idea. No, it was programmed there. So while I was going through the programming in the center and going to high school for my training for the pilot program, can you see where I'm going with this? How much to say and who's interested in what, I don't know. I don't even fully know what I'm trying to share with this video other than a little bit of what happened to me. Not even 1%, but just a little bit of programming. So when I would do these, watching the TV, when I would do these exercises, it was to strengthen my eyes and to get me to focus better and see better. I didn't know about omega training and how people could, and theta, how people could actually leave your body, astral project out, see future events, as well as other stuff. Anyways, my life has been definitely different, I think, than a lot of people. Everybody's is unique. I'm not taking away from anybody's life. But my mom was a practitioner of the dark arts. I grew up, around a lot of craziness. So this stuff isn't new to me. Although I don't personally take part in this stuff myself, I can see it because certain things I was trained for and groomed for throughout my life. Hence how I'm able to predict upcoming events. But people don't always listen. And I think part of that is because of me having a problem expressing and putting into words and feeling comfortable sharing. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm getting comfortable with sharing. So this story was basically to tell you a tiny bit about, a little bit, the smallest bit, about how programming can affect a person's life. Now, I could tell more about what the programs taught me, how it affected my life, but I'll do that in a different video. This was just to walk down memory lane for me. I'm kind of just in my head reliving a moment, and instead of me reliving that moment in my head over and over, I'm expressing it so that maybe I'll watch it later, maybe you guys will hear it too, it'll be helpful, and then I could deal with it and let it go and not have to think about this stuff anymore.
But since I'm still deprogramming, I like to share a little bit about the process, which is another video I plan to do, breaking down brain waves, alpha waves, how programming works on the psychological side, the hypnosis side, and how you mentally could woo somebody. I want to show you this not because I want to mentally woo you, but I want you to be aware of the plans of the enemy in advance so that you are not deceived. So I'm trying to just kind of put a few things out there because apparently a lot of this stuff that's going on, people are shocked and afraid. Like with the well, I'm not going to go into that because that'll get me more. I think I'm already shadow banned, so I don't want to make it to where they totally block me. So I'll come back on that subject. Anyways, programming and deprogramming. You know, you have to retrain your mind. You have to renew your mind and know and see that over your lifetime, the stuff that you were taught before, if it's not suiting your life, if it's not bringing you love, joy, peace in your spirit, don't do it. So I'm just trying to share. I'm trying to, maybe enlighten a few people as I wake up, hoping that a little bit of my testimony helps others. So until the next video, I'll see you then. Hopefully I hear back. I get some feedback on my videos here because that's always helpful. People coming to me and telling me, yeah, that's interesting, or nah, that's not. Then I know how to, what to share and what not to share. But one thing I like to say is authentic. So whatever I tell you, it's not rehearsed. It's the real deal. Hence why sometimes when you see me, I look nice, and other times I look a disaster. I think I was crying in the video I did yesterday. But hey, you know what? I'd rather be real and raw than rehearsed and programmed. So let's deprogram together, shall we?